You might have noticed, this teeth is coming out. Perhaps it is increasing in size.
That is
Canine,
20%.
canine.
That's so cute.
So I went to the doctor. He said this is the strongest teeth you have. And if I remove it, all the other teeth will be in danger. I said, I'm okay with it, even if it looks odd. Self care. So self care with the ego says, no, no, I must look good before all the all the people I coach. Then there is a problem. I just stopped the topic. I said, don't do it. Check my all the teeth, take care of it, and that is done. Sophie started thinking. She asked me a question. I grew my hairs became gray, so there was mental conflict long back. Should I make it? Should I dye it or should I not? What is right and good? Let it grow. You are known by your beauty of the mind and emotion. I can go on, so let me stop this. The beauty of the Eastern wisdom that it has discussed almost everything that the human life can conceive. So they did not think and they did not deliberated, elaborated, explained each and every aspect, not because of claiming they are right. Every master says we are open. Here is a knowledge. Contemplate and reflect on it, and you reach to the absolute truth. Every master says this truth is not mine, it's not personal. It is universally applicable. Another question comes, I don't believe in you. So you don't believe you are living at a low level of awareness. Why you should believe? So how can you say you are living at a low level of awareness? You have a lot of suffering in your life. Our goal is to bring an end to the suffering. That is the goal of Eastern wisdom. Our reasoning is very clear. Not only that, my friends, Master says you have reached to the ultimate. Throw all the books, burn it, throw all the principles. Why? You have reached to the absolute. It is not affected by any principle, any statement. Live your life. Not like science. Science says, no, you have to follow the principle. Then only you can create an atom bomb to destroy the entire world. We say simply bring it to an end. You have reached there, you have reached your home. You will say, no, let me drive my car to reach my home. No principle, no instrument. That is what is known as an absolute freedom. Absolute freedom means that I should be free from even the intellect. Think of it. I should be free from the intellect, the ego, the false self. I should not carry the baggage of these principles. So the master further says that, well, you are going to be a coach or a teacher of the Eastern wisdom, then always remain connected to the books. Otherwise, you cannot explain the principles. So, what is that connection? Connection is that you pick up one book and you study, contemplate, and reflect. The more you reflect, the more insight you have. And that insight the teacher teaches. So either you study the books, contemplate and reflect. You can write the books. I'm writing simultaneously on 7 books. It's going to come. Next one is coming next month. So we were discussing last time that association of this body and the mind with the world outside creates likes and dislikes. That is what we discussed, John. So create likes and dislikes, then it causes the attachment and ultimately desire. Then desire prompts me to an action. Action is never complete because it is defective. So I achieve something, I want to repeat it. I don't achieve something, I want to change the direction. So I am highly engaged in action. So our question is that why every living being is seeker of happiness, consciously or unconsciously? Every living being, starting from the mosquito, enjoys taking blood from us. They are seeker of the happiness. So we are also the seekers of happiness. They do it unconsciously. We have both the choices. We do it unconsciously, and then we start thinking. Then we have an emotional dependence, and then we fall into suffering. You do it consciously. Let me. So that is the topic, that how to think, speak, and act consciously in daily living. You're talking to honey, talk consciously. No, no, you don't love me. This is unconscious talk. You are crazy. Because you are expecting love from others. That's why you know you don't take care of me. Well, are you a baby to be taken care of? Newborn baby? We don't think in this way. So when you do not think in this way, the mind keeps on thinking, no, you don't love me. No, you have gone there. I called you to sit and sit with me. I told you out of love. Oh, really? Is that out of love? You are crazy. You want to make your honey also crazy. Conscious, I told you, conscious thinking. So this is the bigger difference between all the animals seek happiness unconsciously. Why? They are governed by the nature. Their intellect is governed by the nature. That is why the calf, the moment they are born, the nature's intelligence pull them. Come on, stand up. Feed yourself. Now is the time to safeguard yourself. So that is why we say it is unconscious, it is instinctual. When we say instinct and impulse, that desires are met by the nature, I am not fully aware. Human being has both the possibilities. we can live our life with unconscious, impulsive, and instinctive nature. That is the meaning of eat, drink, and be men. You see? See the definition, see the understanding. So when my mind is totally absorbed in eat, drink, and marry means my mind believes that pleasure, happiness, peace is always outside. It is not inside. So I live in delusion. For animals, there is no delusion. Why? They do not have an intellect. See, do you see the point? They don't have an intellect. They are not thinking. Their intellect is not free to think. Huh? That take an example of mosquito. You are fully aware of the mosquito, but the mosquito is not aware that now you are going to kill. I can separate my experiences from myself and observe and take a right decision. There begins the Eastern wisdom. Don't be so serious. We both have animal mind and we both have the human mind. So when I'm repeating to my honey, you don't love me, Lord love me, so I get frustrated. Same animal mind, it gets frustrated. Then I start blaming, complaining. Game starts. When that game starts, it carries the baggage of emotional dependence. I know you were soulmate 20 years ago. Now you are soulmate. I'm going to divorce you. I know I feel lot of pain. Again, you are talking of the same animal mind. Come on, change yourself. Look at the so simple principle. Master says, change yourself. Why don't you sit down and think, where lies the peace and happiness? If your honey contains peace and happiness, then everyone will chase your honey. And the stronger will take your honey out of your life. They do not contain the property of peace and happiness. So the master says that find out, put your mind to a right desire or correct your desires. If it is a binding desire, you are going to suffer. I told you an example of Bill Gates. I lived loveless life. So it's a binding desire that you did not give love to me. So here our master says desire for physical survival, physical needs and professional needs. Now add professional needs also. So for meeting that physical needs, I must work. Or if my honey works, it's okay. I can squeeze from honey. No, he or she loves me. I know why he or she loves you. Now I'm not going there, changing the topic. So even if I'm a homemaker, I'm working. So it's a different understanding. So first thing, that desire to meet the physical needs rightly, correctly, does not give you any stress or suffering. You are working. Okay, let me work, excel in my profession, and I will definitely get a reward. Then comes the desire for peace and happiness, one, another desire, and the desire to remove the feeling of fear, dissatisfaction, and unhappiness. They both are related. Are you unhappy? Yes. That unhappiness in the mind is related that I am not happy. So both are related, happy, unhappy, satisfaction, dissatisfaction. So master says you have to think. First, find out the location of peace and happiness. What is the locus? I have an urge to go to the restroom, so I have to find a restroom, not a kitchen, to make it very. You see that? See, I have to study, so let me go to the study room and where my computer, etc., are lying there. There we make a mistake, our mind, because animal mind plus lot of thoughts, confusing thoughts are there in the intellect. We combine them and we say, "Oh, I loved you. You are my soulmate. I thought that you will give me peace and happiness. Now I'm frustrated." Your locus is wrong. Honey is not the locus of your peace and happiness. It is mind. And the locus of unhappiness is also the mind. So if I treat my mind and I tell the mind, come on, remove that unhappiness, you will ever be happy. Once you remove unhappiness, happiness is already there. But where it is? It is inside me. It is not outside. And this journey takes a long time. The mind has a tremendous doubt, emotional dependence, craziness, laziness, not understanding, lack of understanding. And then the journey begins. Master says, I will help you. And that is where he personalizes the practice and expresses the principles according to his understanding to make you understand. So that is what. So, did you understand? Desire, unbinding desires for physical survival. I must get it. We should work as long as our body allows to work, but as a play and a fun. Whether you are a homemaker, you're doing your business, or you are whatever you're doing. Why? That keeps you away from selfishness and that helps you to purify the mind. And then desire for peace and happiness. At the same time, desire to remove unhappiness. Locus is the same. If you find another locus, it will never happen. If you say to your honey that you don't love me, it's a both, both the gender. And that honey starts hugging you every day in the morning, afternoon, evening, night. Will you be happy? Okay, you told me that I don't love you, so let me love you. Then you will say, my honey is crazy. You have found out. Happiness is not in anywhere. I can give you 100 examples. And who told me? My students. I learned from them. Oh, yeah, yes, I am teaching one couple, so this women started crying. I didn't show any expression. I said, once you stop crying, then I will talk. Then she stopped crying. I said, crying has no. Does the crying give you love and happiness from your honey? Tell me. Honey was sitting there. No, at least, there is an emotional release. I said, you found the solution. So whenever you are stressed, start crying. Release it. You are happy. So we have created a wrong notion. A negative act can give me peace and happiness. Not possible. How many years You have been crying and released your emotions. They are still present. They return again from the back door. I believe no one cries here in this go. See that? That idea, that principle, masters talk about. And I don't believe you, so keep crying if you don't believe me. So think of it, contemplate, reflect. Anyhow, then she hugged me and she said, from today, I will never cry. I said, wonderful, you have learned me. You have learned a good lesson. I will never cry. Let me add, you start thinking also, contemplate that what causes you this, the unhappiness inside. You have a lot of expectations. Remove that, unhappiness will go away. It will be replaced by happiness. No, don't be serious, keep smiling. Don't start thinking about yourself. You have a lot of time after the session. There is another thing that Master talks about. Our peace, happiness, love, and wisdom is present in the present moment or in the future. It is definitely not present in the past. We normally say, I had a terrible past, except a few moments when I met my soulmate. Think of this. Happiness, peace, love are always in the present moment. It is neither in the past nor in the future. Future, I don't know, it is uncertain. The past is already gone. You see the difference between the animal kingdom and the human race. When the human being is conscious, is aware, then only they experience peace, love, wisdom. Say yes, if I'm right. So, if that is yes, animals do not have that experience. They are governed and dictated by their nature. You call your dog, they want to see if you have a bite of food in your hand or not. So, if our honey says, come on, honey, here is a bite, what will happen? Think of this. So that proves that I'm conscious. Oh, you are luring me with a bite of food or bite of gold or bite of wedding ring, etc. It's a long list. Our bite of food is different. Don't worry, I have also passed through the same problem. So you see that? Do you see that love, peace, happiness, and wisdom is in the present? That is why the mindfulness is known as living, thinking, and acting in the present moment. Consciously. You only consciously experience peace, love, happiness, and wisdom in the present moment. If it is not, you are emotionally dependent. You have a lot of expectations. You are attached, and that is why we cry. Are you getting it? Yes, say yes, even if you are not. No problem. Do you see that understanding? That understanding has to be settled in the mind from an intellect through contemplation and reflection about your life. When that happens, 90% of the issues are gone. Mind stops blaming and complaining. Mind does not go that why I lived in unhappiness and insecurity. And then few weeks of practice is required and you are there. Think of this. Think, think, think. Then you cannot ask anyone, I have a painful experiences almost every day living with anyone in the world. And then what happens? The mind changes. When the mind changes, what happens? Mind changes. When the mind changes, your brain changes. I have repeated many a times, think of this. When the brain changes, your behavior and attitude changes. When behavior and attitude changes, your daily thinking, speaking, and action changes. And when that changes, your life changes. So that is what happens. Then you start living in meditation or mindfulness, so to say, 24 by 7. That is the way this Eastern wisdom works. So let us start our journey. You have made me bored. Now I want to do the practice. So close your eyes. Close your eyes and be comfortable.